I'm Mackenzie Barnes, and I am in the RN class of 2019 at BTC. My first impression of BTC was actually in 2016, and you guys were actually in the old building. And so you were in the process of moving. So it was a lot of hectic things going on. But my first impression was even though you guys were hectic moving, you guys were still very professional, and you guys were able to help me, and I got in and out with the application process in no time. My favorite day in class probably was the day that everybody scored a 100 on one of Miss Schmidt's classes, one of her tests, and she bought ice cream, individual ice cream for all of us. So that was probably the best day because they're the little pint-sized ones, and it was really nice of her to do. So it was probably third semester when we had the bridge program, and I got to meet Laura, and she's a breast cancer survivor, and I am a cancer survivor. I had uterine and ovarian cancer. So just to see her continue on and go through that while she was in the midst of classes was really inspirational to me, because I didn't have to go through the program while fighting cancer. So that was she's a huge inspiration for me, and I think she's a huge inspiration to a lot of the girls in the class. They're your family. People don't realize that you spend more time with your classmates in these 2 years than you do with your actual family. And so they're with you all the time. If you're having a bad day, they're there to comfort you. If you need that extra inspiration, if you've had a bad test, they're there to say, hey, it's one test, you got this the next time. They're family, and Katie Hensley's definitely been my side chick through this experience, and so I'm really grateful for her as well. Oh, well, it'll change it for the better. It just proves to myself that I can do it, and that I did do it, and it proves to my kids no matter how hard you work for something, it might take you a couple years to get it, but you can do it. You just got to keep your mindset to it and just go for your dream. Probably the first word I would choose would be probably energetic, enthusiastic, and the last one would probably be family. And when you first start this program with these group of 30 strangers, you quickly realize that they become family to you, and they energize you. They give you that energy you need to get through a long day at clinicals, a long day in class, 4 days a week of classes. On Thursday you're exhausted and you don't really want to be there, but they give you that inspiration and energy to just keep on pushing towards your goal, and which is to graduate. So my favorite clinical rotation would have to be would have been the OB. And anyone who knows me, I always joke and say I'm not an OB nurse. I want nothing to do with it. But the reason why it was so enjoyable is because it put me out of my comfort zone, and I was really uncomfortable during that whole clinical. However, when I left that day, I realized you are growing as a person because you did this clinical. You learned a lot. I learned so much from the clinical. It actually made me really admire those OB nurses and even mother and newborn nurses. I realized that OB might not be where I belong, but I could definitely see myself being on a mother and newborn nurse. I would like to thank my husband for dealing with the 2 years of craziness that I brought onto our family. My 4 incredibly wonderful kids who, a little emotional there, who's definitely been there and knows that I've had to miss things just because school came first. And definitely my classmates for pushing me through this and being my second family away from home. So just like to say thank you to them.